gonna work though? Do you like what Liquid's doing, or do you think sort of the more standard approach here from mudgolems is gonna help them win it out?
Glancing at Liquid's, like it does look like it has all the elements, but I think they've gone a little too far outside of the box with some of this stuff. It just feels too weird to me. It's weird because I can't like specifically like say like what I strongly hate besides 5 Pango being weird. Like it looks like they do tick all the boxes, but there's something about it that just doesn't feel right. It feels very strange.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do with this sort of setup. Go, ladies and gentlemen. Getting to the action of game 1 between Liquid and mudgolems. And as we can see, starting off there, some of the lanes we've got coming out up top, Mickey and the carry troll. It's going to be supported by Insania on the 5 Pango. He's got the Orb of Venom picked up. He's ready to punch. Tiger, Shadow Demon, mid lane, Quake for Invoker. See. On the Void Spirit down at the bottom lane, over on the other side on mudgolems, Skeeter, Harry Spectre, BoraNija on the Storm that we've seen from them come out quite a few times now here this tournament. 33 playing the offlane Doom, Vada saving lives as the Oracle, and Milan's going to be looking for the plays as this Rubik is going to get met by Liquid here on the high ground.
But he's got boots.
Yeah, should be able to make it away, no problem at all with that movement speed.
30 seconds to battle.
Sees the 3 top, so he's probably expecting them to do at least keep a tri lane for maybe the first level or 2 if they can try to get a first blood. I think that's probably Liquid's better idea here if they have this support Pango, because I'm a little worried if it is just a support Pango straight up and they just make these standard dual lanes. I think this top lane might suffer a bit here. Rubik and Doom can pack a pretty decent punch, especially when you don't have a real support to kind of help you out on the side. And I'm looking at the Storm last pick. I look at mudgolems draft, and like you said, very standard kind of draft for them, where they have so many different ways to start the fight. This Haunt gets popped, they can pick and choose who they go for these battles. It's your very standard Storm Spectre lineup with a nice Doom coming into play too. Their team fight might be a bit lackluster when that Haunt isn't up, but they do have nice, good supports to be able to move around. The Rubik in particular with the Storm, they can constantly set up for kills.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, it's definitely a much more tried and tested lineup that mudgolems have come out with here. Very solid core heroes that have proven to be very strong right now in this meta.
Yeah, I want to see how they...
Something a little different.
I'm going to be looking a lot at Taiga and Boxy, because these two, for me, have been just so crucial to Liquid's games. If I feel like Boxy is having a bad game, I feel like Liquid struggles so much. They always it feels like they never can really make stuff happen on the map. So these two, definitely the ones to be, at least for me, to keep eyes on.
Yeah, and I mean, how much pressure do you think they are going to be able to put onto these two? I mean, so we're seeing Skeeter, he's going to have the help of Fada removing the stacks of poison. Is that sort of enough to mean the Skeeter's not going to be too interrupted by these two down here, or what do you expect from Liquid to come out of the early few waves and levels?
They can probably punish Fada on this side. Oh, free courier for Fada, okay. They can probably punish Fada on the sidelines there, but I think on Skeeter, once he gets like these points in dispersion, you negate too much of the damage, and you're always just gonna have this lane pushing in. They also have their pull available immediately, so like Fada, at some point he can just walk over and start pulling. So I think this lane should be just fine for the side of mudgolems.
Looking at over the other lanes, mid lane, very even so far the first few waves. Quake from BoraNija keeping it close, and up top, we're seeing the two supports keep each other busy. Milan, Insania just poking each other away from their respective cores, and in turn that's just giving the space for 33 and Mickey to trade farm. Nobody really feeling under too much pressure up here for now.
Insania's actually doing a very good job of just bullying Milan a lot here, even though Milan, he has level 2. Just done a great job of just resetting the lane positioning, and Mickey is able to get free farm. Can stop the pull though, is the question. If Milan does get this pull, this is going to prove to be a pretty big concern up top for XP at least, and yeah, the pull is done. So this is one of the concerning things about having a melee 5 position some of the times, is just breaking that pull is very difficult. Mickey's going to have to contest. Yeah.
Mess around with them a little bit. Mickey steps over.
Has been killed.
Another courier of Liquid's falls. Milan wiping out. Insania's behind him. Insania trying to run him down, but just see at these early levels, not really too much you can do over the quick swashbuckle.
And they can't threaten the Doom at all up here either, so it's going to be a free farm for 33 with level 2 on that Devour. He's going to go look for a nice creep to grab. got a pretty damn good one for aggression. Probably the best one, actually. That 50 mana for huge damage on the Doom if they look to get aggressive top it all. Now they can, for sure.
Try and go for Milan here. The slow. Milan, he's going to pop the stick charges. Mickey, can he quite get the last hit? And he can't. 33's having a step forward. The clap and push Liquid back. So the Liquid's not going to be able to find first blood yet.
Yeah, doing better than I thought they would up top. But it is versus the Doom, and Doom, you know, a bit passive, of course, for these first few levels. He's starting to get his strength since he got a good creep eaten.
Chasing now, Insania. He had to find something here with the swashbuckle across the two of them. They turn with the burst, but it's not enough to kill Insania. Insania and Mickey get the first blood onto 33. Insania already starting to serve up. Milan's got to be a little careful how he hangs around. Swashbuckle's going to be back up in 8. And indeed, Milan already stepping away, but I mean, it's working. And Insania's Pango got the kill and didn't die. They couldn't quite burst him.
He's actually setting up for all the farm for Mickey. So, all right, 5-position Pango is going to work in this one versus this bit of a passive lane that they do have on mudgolems. So, ends up working out for them here. And we see mid, and Mickey gets pushed out as mid on top.
Get the slows onto him. Chances there for them to turn with the telekinesis. And now 33 will run down the two of them a little bit with the scorched earth.
Huh. That was a kill on Insania. I'm not sure why he threw him away. If Insania gets the clap on it, or if 33 gets the clap on Insania, Insania's dead. He just used Swashbuckle. That was weird by Milan. He wanted to get the drop stun onto Mickey, but yeah, ends up missing a kill, I feel, out of it.
Comes to the 5-minute runes, but Insania going to be able to come in and contest. This doesn't look like it up top. 33 is actually able to cut down Mickey's courier, which was about to make a pretty big delivery for this stage. It had extra tangos, a mango, and the Wraith Band on. And he was just able to walk in and take that away right in front of Mickey.
Mickey has to be careful how he steps up with this point in Infernal Blade. He can die. An Infernal Blade and a clap. As Milan, he's chasing out Insania. One more hit to be able to kill.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Milan.
We're still looking. Insania couldn't be able to make it away.
Mid, we see again, Tiger's looking for the big rotation this time as he dewarded the cliff. Morning here.
Stupendous!
He'll be fine though, as he does have that full bottle to heal himself up, and I'm seeing a Spectre not get pressured bottom. Tiger's looking to make some moves around mid, but this is always a concern. They haven't slowed down Skeeter at all. Spectre with free farm. A lot of aggressive wards you see placed out from Taiga. He's looking to get information inside the jungle because he knows Storm's gonna hit these creeps soon.
On top.
Oh, quick wards.
They're trying to make moves on 33, but a little too big for them to take down. Has a lot of one charges too. They're still trying to move in on him. And yeah, with the one popped, we'll realize that this is not a kill they're going to be able to get.
Taiga continue hanging around mid with this catapult wave, pushing it, just forcing BoraNija away from that mid tower. But lanes have kind of progressed now in these first 6 minutes. We see fairly even across the board, which, you know, as a Storm and a Spectre lineup, yeah, I think you're always happy. Lanes going even, you're in a great spot.
Structures are fortified.
And they're even a little bit ahead out of the lanes too. So
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Very ideal situation.
It's definitely going to be pressure on Quaifa to make some big moves early this game. He's gonna have the boots out in a second with that urn. Start trying to look to get a little involved in these side lanes. But as you say, they're going to need to bring a lot down to that bottom lane already if they want to try and have a solid chance at killing off Skeeter.
Yeah, he has much easier rotations to play around top, I feel. These two can set up for kills onto the Doom and the Rubik pretty easy. Killing the Spectre still is just... it's just too much of a task. Zip in.
BoraNija is going to get a little active onto Quaifa. It's not enough damage right now for the Storm to really threaten the Invoker. In fact, BoraNija taking quite a hit back. Quaifa as he holds his ground with the cold snap. Level 6 on Mosquito, so Horn always at the ready. They do find opportunities to fight on these other two lanes here. mudgolems is just holding that slight lead here.
I feel like, yeah, Insania just committed again with Swashbuckle. Milan's playing a little bit passive, I feel like. When Insania commits, I feel like a lot of these times you can just lift him and throw him on the Doom, and that's a kill. I think he's giving a little bit too much respect to this position 5 Pango. I've seen now like 3 times Insania putting himself in a jeopardizing position. Doesn't get punished.
What for move up to the top there to see if we could get a look in on anything, but land on the high ground. There's more the info that they need, and Quofer's just going to have to head back towards mid. He's not going to be able to catch anyone by surprise up top for now. He's going to try and make the play of go down bottom and helping Boxy as Skeeter, a little low on the HP, doesn't have any regen upon him. Might be able to dive and burst him.
This could be a really nice move here. Skeeter got the dagger out. Speedy can connect.
They got the Tornado EMP and Remnant. Cold Snap down as well. The damage is done.
Nice.
Smart moves from Quafer and in a way that would have caught them by surprise, because we saw showing himself top, coming in up to the stairs. They just immediately with that TP down bottom, they weren't ready for that.
Yeah, he gets himself his Zern charge now, so he can look to make some moves around the map a lot easier now. And BoraNija, he can react with his TP to try to counter-react, but it's always a little bit scary versus the speedy Invoker. Quite still hanging around bottom. There is a ward set up in the area, and they spotted that ward placed too. But they're committing
just get Fada. Yeah, Fada step forward to try and get some farm in this lane. Quafer's still about. Quafer is going to be able to catch another. So some early players coming out from the Invoker top lane. BoraNija also starting to get active for mudgolems. They dive in onto Insania underneath the tower. Of course, by this time, Mickey stepped away from the lane. And he's hitting the jungle now.
Seeing very similar movements coming out from both teams. Mickey, he's going to be going for this greed. As we've seen, he's going to go for this Battle Fury this game. That could be a little painful, I'll be totally honest. I feel like
Radiant's bottom tower
they might need him to go a little bit less greedy, but we'll see. I feel like they can definitely take advantage of that on the side of mudgolems, but at the same time, too, I'm looking at Liquid, and I feel like he actually has to just go for the Battle Fury. Otherwise, they're just going to get outscaled way too hard this game.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, we'll see how quickly he's able to get it online this game, and
is under attack.
That sort of helps him stay ahead, and alongside the 3 cores of mudgolems that will have some fantastic scaling and farming opportunities. Imagine these 3 cores are not going to be too fussed regardless of what stage the game gets to.
No, that's why I'm feeling like it might be a bit of concern that he goes for the Battle Fury rather than going for like your Phase, your Yasha, your Basher, and just going for this battle kind of build. I feel like it could hurt them because they're playing now. I feel like they're playing into mudgolems' hands a bit. The mudgolems, they want this game to progress. They don't mind any of this type of passive play here.
Have to be some huge moves from Liquid, but Quafer is going to be spotted out here. They come in with the horn, they're going to jump in onto Insania and take him out. And now with BoraNija closing the gap on the Quafer, they'll try and turn, but the range is there for Milan to come in with the telekinesis, take him out. They'll head over towards Tiger in the trees. They're going to be out against the third here as Tiger's trying to run. Oh, maybe he'll live it. BoraNija's low on the mana. The swashbuckle actually off the mark. It doesn't matter though. The range is there for BoraNija to come in with a final hit. Pick up a triple kill. I mean, that was a fantastic use there of the horn and the chasers. As soon as they saw Quafer, they made that move immediately.
This is one of the reasons why there's slight concern for this Battle Fury. I feel like Mickey, he might have to get involved with his team. Even if he goes for Battle Fury, I think he actually might have to just start fighting with them. Because this does look like it's going to get really difficult for Liquid. Every time these ults are up, mudgolems will have a very strong fight. And they saved Doom that last fight. I saw 33. Yeah. He almost instantly casted it. The Ghost Walk went off. He misses it. And then he raises his arms again. And they realize, wait, we don't need to use this. So now there's still this threat on the map of Doom if Liquid does look to make an aggressive play.
And we saw there as well. Huge that BoraNija gets all the last hits on those kills. His Orchid's just going to be so fast this game. Bottom lane. Well, he's got the setup on a 33. They're in with the Rolling Thunder. 33 out of mana. Fada's trying to help him out, and he's able to do so. It's going to keep him safe for now. The Rolling Thunder won't finish off the job. 33 is just able to walk away from the 3 and trying to make that move on him. And he's going to be fine. On the other side, though, Insania, he is not. BoraNija catches him on the way out. And that's going to be the Orchid done. Yeah, it's a 12-minute Orchid on this Storm. And you said earlier already, anytime you sort of see a team getting this sort of power, you know, being the team that has a Spectre this early on, you've got to feel a little concern for the opponents.
Yeah, and it's a very, like we said, it's a very volatile draft from Liquid. It's very hard for them to actually play if they do start getting behind at any point. Like, who's their front line? Who's going to edge in this front line? Everyone who shows is going to get this Orchid in and picked off in the lane.
It just seems like it's going to be so easy for mudgolems to make that sort of play with how fast this Orchid is on the Storm.
It's also a pretty free Storm game when you look at it. Sure, there's some disables he has to worry about, like the Aether Remnant and maybe like some tornadoes and stuff like that, but if he's able to play around the initial setups, there's no actual just hard stun that they do have in their tactics. There's no like sinking Burrow Strike, it's nothing like that.
And we've seen before, right, when you do go for the Invoker and you have this sort of play style that you want to get away with, this turn into yours, making moves, making plays. If you do start to die, you know, you're going to fall behind so far that it's going to be one of those games where it's just all on the Troll's shoulders.
Yep.
And if they don't find action, Liquid, their other two cores are going to sit back.
Yeah, that's when we've seen, you know, Thompson, when he goes for this and he starts having some tough stuff happen as Invoker, he just builds Medallion, builds Glimmer, goes Solar, and you're just kind of this glorified support Invoker just buffing up a Troll. Yeah, it definitely feels like it can get to that point pretty quickly in this game, as BoraNija is always full mana, always looking for this threat. And there's not going to be the Yule setup either, right? We see Boxy, he's just rushing in Aghanims. That silence, it's going to be great onto the Storm if he's able to do so, but...
Invisibility!
He also can just dot from an Orchid himself on that Void Spirit a lot of times too, because he doesn't have that defensive.
Fado was just able to get, he gets the wall coverage down, but it does get taken away, so not quite the open setup for BoraNija to get in on that angle.
Radiant
Seeing what else he can find. Down hits, but there's a lot of Liquid here, so a little risky for BoraNija to come into it, at least until Liquid start to separate. And Insania, got to be careful about walking down onto the low ground and maybe even staying on the high ground. He might still be in a bit of a spot up over as they're trying to go. BoraNija did actually have to step in range of that outpost before he zips, so we're aware of him.
They have a sentry down too.
Yeah.
They saw him for a second there.
So this pressure, it's just space, right? Skeeter and 33, they're just continuing to free farm. I mean, he's still control. Mickey, he's going to be on track for a good Battle Fury in time. In fact, does he have it finished?
I think he does, yeah.
So Battle Fury's done, 15 minutes in, still very solid timing here from Mickey. They've got some stacks prepared for him already.
Oh, a nice stack. Oh, look at these. These are juicy. Typical Liquid fashion. A nice quad Ancient and a quad hard camp right next to him with the Battle Fury. So, yeah, he's going to get pushed up almost to level 14 off of this. He will be very fun, but here comes the plays.
Showing on the lanes. It's becoming increasingly harder and harder for Liquid to do right now. Against the Orchid and the Horn. So many ways of getting in on top of them, and 33 as well. BKB's nearly done. Phase runs BKB in with the Doom ready to pop. 33, he's going to be able to find his target every single time. So already just having, I mean, all three cores, they're all able to just single out and focus whoever they want in these team fights.
Just set up. Bot is in position for a save though.
Yep, they're going to put the false promise straight away. Make sure BoraNija is able to zip out to the side. And that will keep him more than fine. Liquid aren't going to look to chase this.
This is a 5-position Pango. Therefore, he does not have a point in his W. Therefore, it's a free steal for Milan. This is like one of the best spells in the game that you can get on Rubik. No cast animation, roll of thunder to set up in these fights.
What? Yeah, not getting caught up by Insane. He didn't quite and the angle of the swashbuckle. Yeah, I feel like we're sort of going to see a similar game as we actually saw from that last game in the previous series. You know, for Liquid, it's all about their carry. Mickey, he's got to carry this hard.
Yeah, it's going to be a very heavy farm game, it does feel like, but that I feel it just favors mudgolems. They have so many different forms of scaling. Rubik has a lot of different good spells to seal for Milan, and yeah, he has the best one right now. So in this downtime where there's no haunt, they still can't look to take advantage of it on Liquid, because now there's that stolen rolling thunder. Maybe they can kill Fada bottom.
Yeah, they shouldn't have any problems here. Taking him out. Milan's going to come in though, and there's the steal. Over with the rolling thunder. Turn over towards Insania. 33 charging in, but Insania is able to roll out himself. He'll get away. Not enough control there from Milan to buy time for 33 to close in. Over towards mid. They're trying to chase for BoraNija here. BoraNija, he zipped back off. Oh, what? I only can imagine that he clicked on his mini-map, but he was in the river. He literally just zipped straight back into them.
That should help.
That must have been a misclick.
That's the second time I think we've seen that this tournament.
We've seen some Storms getting a little too close to their mini-maps.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only explanation for that one. There was no other reason to make that move, as he just turns straight back into them.
Look at this, they get the lift. 33's running in, he gets the Doom.
He tried to save him with the Destruction, but the Doom was already down. Mickey is going to try and run from this. Fado, has he got enough damage to push Mickey over the edge? They do. Daggers out. Mickey is taken down.
And just the moment that Liquid, they finally are getting something rolling for them, something good, beating on towers, they lose the hero that's everything for them. And it's wrapped around, I guess, a Roche is
they're going to try.
I'm going to go for.
Not necessarily the optimal rotating lineup, but I guess with the blade mount, tankiness, the Spectre, they can do this.
And Stolen Disruption. They've got the double Spectres for the Desolate. This actually makes it that much more possible.
Oh, it really does. I mean, Liquid know it's up. They're going to try and roll in. Insania has got the Rolling Thunder coming through as 33 is low. Insania not going to be able to find the bounce. They'll wait outside the pit for now. Jump forward from Boxy. He's in onto Fighter. Fighter's going to get burst down. The BoraNija looking for the backline. Straight away over to Poifer. Poifer able to protect himself with the self-kills. 33 slams down the stun. Silence is there onto BoraNija, but it's not going to stop him taking down Poifer. Boxy jumps over to the side with the Astral step. BoraNija, the side, 33 is taken out, and Liquid, they've found two.
Atrocious, whoa, and Mick is here.
He should be able to finish this off unless BoraNija is able to get a good zip off.
Pop the battle trance.
Actually, straight away for that extra sort of chance to take it down at a bit of a quicker spin, but that means he's not going to have it to save himself. What's up? Jump forward off the side, skippers in, but Roche should take him. Mickey's able to get the kill and the Aegis. He grabs both. To the side, BoraNija trying to press down Insania, but the Glimmer Cape stays there. Insania's going to be able to get away, and now with the Remnant Torn onto Skeeter. Skeeter's in trouble. He's falling low, plus the one charge. Paul managed to maneuver himself up to the high ground with the dagger. He's out of there, but Liquid, they get the Roche and they get that Aegis from Mickey.
Respawned at perfect timing. It really did feel like it. A Mudgolems, that looked very close for them to be able to get it with those illusions, but ends up giving it up to Liquid. We still see Koifa though, he's the one who's really suffering. He fought back in that last fight to make sure that they can ensure that Roche, and just looking at net worth, how much it's suffering. So it's still going to be a really tough task for Mickey, even though he has this Aegis. It might not feel like the strongest Aegis, it's just going to be an Aegis to farm. Mudgolems, I feel like they can still fight even into this, because it's on the Troll, who's, sure, he's got the SNY in the battle period now to fight, but the rest of the 4 heroes are still pretty fragile. And they do have Haunt as well as full mana on Storm and Doom. So I think Skeeter, go back to base refresh. They might be able to look and set up for a smoke gank here.
And so, sort of looking at the heroes that Mudgolems have, you know, just despite the fact that Mickey is as farmed as he is, would you say that Mudgolems have the tools to deal with a very farmed Troll this game?
Yeah, they have the Doom. However, I think there's always the one X factor when I see Shadow Demon versus Spectre is if Taiga's able to get Ags. It's like this type of swap of these carry matchups, because Dispersion's just gone the whole game.
Can get with the smoke. Okay. Bring in the lane. They want to try and get the heroes behind him, but there's a lot of them. Liquid coming down in full force to this bottom lane. The Mudgolems want to try and make a jump. BoraNija is looking for an opportunity. The vision favourite, then they've got the lift up. They'll jump Insania first, but the disruption comes out from Tiger. Tiger buys a bit of safety for him. BoraNija turns his attention over towards Tiger. Insania not able to get the Rolling Thunder off in time. As there's 3 down, now they turn over towards Mickey. Mickey's trying to run, but the 33 hot on his chase takes him out the once. Now Aegis taken out. Foxy is trying to create some sort of a distraction, allow space for Mickey to live, and it will work. Mickey's going to be able to escape, but it's at the cost of every other member of Liquid. And I feel like that could start to be the story we're going to see here. Everybody but Mickey dying as everyone else is just feeling so weak. We saw in that fight, as soon as the horn came out, both supports and Koifa, they fell over immediately.
Yeah, they're able to pick and choose and get the perfect initiation every single time with this draft. That's why we're seeing it picked so often, right? The Storm and Spectre combo. You always can just break the initiations. 33 just gets the Doom on whatever target he wants. And then, yeah, they steamroll over the fight with ease. But that's really going to be the name of this game here. Has this Orchid to this limited ways to be able to purge it off. Like Boxy not having a Yule Scepter, just having this Ags Rush, just gets Orchid in the fight too, and he does come in to try to help. And yeah, Spectre, Skeeter hitting very good timings. Manta on his way toward the defusal, and it's feeling like it's all going to be enough. It's really just Mickey there. All the weight on his shoulders and just have every buff for him.
They're going to try for the smoke, Liquid. See what they can find around mid lane. Mickey leading the way. BoraNija steps up with the invis. Boxy's trying to jump with the backlines to look to burst. Fada, is he able to do so? Fada's still alive for now. He's been tornadoed up on the side. 33 jumps into the hoof stop. He's able to catch up. Both point for Tiger. Tiger coming out with the self-destruct to keep themselves safe. Mickey moving in onto 33, but they've lost Tiger. Rolling Thunder through an Insania. Didn't really connect on what you want to saw there. Able to pull back Skeeter. Battle Trance comes out. Skeeter getting low, but he pops the Manta. He's out to the side. 33 tries to jump in to save him, but Skeeter goes down. Liquid get the big kill. They get the Spectre.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Still seeing how much damage they can do, especially with all these ults being down. About 20 seconds though till Doom is back up. See mudgolems still lingering in the area looking for a jump, but damage is done. A great move from Liquid, punishing those cooldowns and getting the big kill, getting that Spectre. And I think Mickey got the last hit as well too, so nice little jump of gold for him there.
Keeping him solidly at the top of the game. That BKB money, it's gonna be done. So between the BKB and the battle chance, Mickey has now become a very hard hero to take out. I mean, as we've seen mudgolems, they can pretty much deal with the rest of Liquid, but Mickey is certainly going to be quite the ordeal to take down.
Unless they just duel him, which could definitely still happen, especially now that everything is up. So Liquid still has to play really well around these cooldown timings, but they do have some nice driving forces. Insania also does have a Blink Dagger, so he can look to actually get some good initiations himself if he doesn't just die immediately to the Haunt. Still feeling that pressure. Every time these ults are up, just Liquid has to somehow hope and just try to lose the least amount of heroes as possible, it feels, when they do just pop everything. So we are seeing Quakefight. He's just going for, I mean, he's got Boots of Travel queued up. I guess he just wants any ways to be able to disengage and reset if he does get doomed and run from the Haunt. I would like to see him build some type of buffing item for Mickey though. I do want to see him go for Solar Crest.
Move from mudgolems. You said the real challenge and task is just taking out the troll. Now zoom in on him. I'm fine Insania. They'll go for an easy kill. Insania presents himself. BoraNija still with mana to play with. Boxy did jump in on this. He's used both of his steps, but BoraNija, does he want to chase this up to the high ground? He does. Under Boxy, Glimmer Cape save will be there, but they've got the counter. Dust is out. Tornado coming into play as well as the construction to try and keep him safe. BoraNija able to zip to dodge the MP, but he's zipped. Jumps in hands, but the false promise save is there. Horn comes out, Skeeter jumps in over towards Boxy. Mickey did not use even the battle chance to BKB. He's still got both. So
it looked like it for a second. It looked weird because he had the alacrity buff.
Yeah, that's what it is. He just keeps sort of changing his form, and it looks like he's popping the chance, but you're right. So he saved both of them, so still good to fight on the troll.
And not too bad. That was the Haunt used, and they did lose. Oh, they lost something, but nothing too massive. They didn't lose any of their. They didn't lose the troll in particular, so still have to watch out. Doom is still available, and BoraNija, he has full mana. These 16 Bloodstone charges. While Liquid still playing, hugging each other. Skeeter knows he can just get all this farm down bottom now. As Liquid, they really have to just play sitting behind each other. So I feel like this is just to allow Skeeter to always get so much farm on the map during this downtime too. Threat of the Storm is always there.
5k lead for mudgolems, and you know, as big as Mickey's troll is, it definitely does feel that Liquid are playing the riskier game right now. But when you do have this strat where it's all in on your carry, Boxy and caught in the river. Boxy gets burst out. Tiger and Quakefight, they're trying to step forward. Slow down 33 with a tornado. With a man down, Liquid disengage, get themselves out of it. But yeah, you know, Liquid playing this, you know, single core lineup where you're against a Doom, and this hero, he's kind of the counter to that sort of style, right?
Yep. You know, they have great scaling heroes too, great ways to catch the back line. Feels like the game just gets harder and harder for Liquid as it does go on. How do they break it? They have to pretty much just play perfect around these Haunt cooldowns, and right now it is down, but they keep losing a hero. That was their big move. They did that big smoke to try to catch people while Haunt was down, and Boxy ran through the river and kind of gave it away there as they were set up on the high ground. They have to be a lot more careful. They can't. I think if they make like 1 or 2 more of these type of mistakes, the game is just going to be at a point where they just can't fix it. It really feels like they have to play perfect on the side of Liquid.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And you can see it from mudgolems as well. They don't really feel under too much pressure at all right now. Now that the troll's going to get infinitely more farmed, they always do have that solution with the Doom.
I didn't actually see this too. Milan has Shadow Purge. He has a Demonic Purge stolen too. So, I mean, versus Mickey, if there's a fight that kicks off, he purges the troll, and it's disastrous. So the fight does kick off pretty soon, which I feel like mudgolems is going to force a fight any moment now as a DD on top, and they have everything available. Roche also back to life. Be that big timing. A basher finished up for Mikke, so he's hitting a pretty big peak timing as well too, but really seeing how tough of a hill it is for him to climb as he's all alone. Koikfa has half the net worth of all the other cores in the game on the side of mudgolems.
But there's the chop. 33 is in. He's in straight away. Mikke's able to put the BK reload. Number 1, 33. Battle chance comes out. 33 trying to get the 2 off. Can he do so? He can't. 33 he's lost his life. Mikke's taking him down over to the side. Insania trying to look towards the Storm and the Spectre. They've lost 2 on Liquid. They're now got to try and get Mikke out of there. No BKB and no battle chance. BoraNija trying to chase, but doesn't really have the mana to continue to do so. So, mudgolems, they come out with those 2 buybacks. They are going to maybe see if they can secure the Roche. But Liquid probably still able to try and give up some sort of fight around here.
Very scary for Mikke to get involved in the fight, though.
Now the Invoker, they can. That's 1.
Yeah, I think mudgolems knows that Mikke can't turn up to the no battle trance, no BKB. He can just get killed in a single disable. There's a Doom available, so this should be a free road for them to set up for.
Some fantastic Aegis and cheese carries.
The best. And we're up to 20 bloodstone stacks for BoraNija, and he's level 21 in that last fight too, so some HP talent and almost a finished Scotty on top too. And yeah, the story continues. It's just Mikke versus the world. As you know, like you said, this game does feel like the last game that we just casted, where it looks like 4 heroes are going to take over the top 5 net worth, and
it is getting there. I mean, that
really
doesn't happen every day. I mean, to see it sort of 2 games in a row is quite something.
Yeah. Only product being left behind is Boxy showing himself mid again.
And still at this point, just no items to really save himself. But Tiger, maybe that'll do it. Comes in with a disruption. Boxy taking heavy damage here, trying to juke away, but the burst is there from far. Finishes him off with purifying flames. BoraNija down Tiger. Tiger's trying for the TP out, but 33's found him in the trees. So with a Who Stomp puts a stop to that. More Bloodstone charges for BoraNija now. 11, 1, and 9. I do feel like, again, sort of before this tournament, really, we were in an age where Storm really struggled. I'm not quite sure about his exact win rate, but definitely when BoraNija's had his hands on him, we've seen some great games from BoraNija Storm this tournament.
He's been dominating, really, and it's always like they get this last pick where he sees a game where there's some limited disables, and he just takes advantage of it. I mean, 11, 1, and 9. He's 20 of the 23 kills for his team. He's having a pretty amazing performance with that 12-minute Orchid timing. And Boxy, like, I'm going to comment about this one, too, because he went for this full aggressive build with the Aghanims, but not having this Euls or Dispel is...
It's just destroying him.
Killed so many times. And they don't have setup either because of it. Like, if they had a Euls, maybe they can set up a little easier to BoraNija, but without it, it's too hard.
BoraNija, he's going to try and have a bit of poke at Mikke. Yeah, it's literally just a poke. Just a poke. Well, maybe seeing if he can spook it, get some BKB charges out.
He has so much mana to work with these Bloodstone stacks. He can play very aggressively here too with this Aegis. Scan is out. Catches him, but yeah, you can see the pressure that Liquid's getting just from a Storm being there. Yeah. Now Haunt is available, so there's always that threat of the outnumbering.
I mean, and the thing is as well, you got to remember, the only time he actually died was when, as we imagined, the blunder did happen where he clicked the minimap. The only time he died was when he messed up, like, made a genuine mistake. Other than that, Liquid haven't been able to do anything about him. They need him to make those mistakes, as it seems, to actually have a chance of killing him.
Yeah, he's really been on fire with his targeting in fights too. Finds himself a nice DD bottom and always carrying dusts. You know, these Storm Spirits, they understand. Especially him, he's always been the one who carries them. Be able to find these targets in the back. Skeeter, he's pushing out top. Quickfire, he's been kind of trying like rat mode here to deal with these creep waves.
Milan's hunting. This is the trick. He's found Mikke. He's good. He's not got buyback either. Dead for 85. That was a huge catch there. I mean, I'm not quite sure what gave them the info to know that he was in the trees, but Milan hunted him down. I mean, what would you imagine they would have... What did they see that gave them that... I guess they had the wards around here. Did he come through the triangle and they knew he was still hanging around? But yeah, Milan just straight in. He knew he was hiding.
He just knew. I glanced up to see where Skeeter was, because Skeeter was pushing out the wave.
I mean, that's a huge catch to find there. I mean, this whole game, it is Mikke versus mudgolems, and Mikke's dead for a minute. BoraNija is in. I mean, there's no mid-game. It's time for them to start having some fun, mudgolems. They don't care about any of the other members of Liquid. They can just go and dive the base, dive tier 4s. They don't care. Liquid's got nothing against the rest of them. As Boxy, he's down. They lose mid-K, they lose everything. They have nothing against the rest of mudgolems. As mudgolems take the tier 3, they're going to take the racks here as well. And this is... Yeah, this is the weakness when you have these sort of drafts that end up in a 4 protect 1. You lose that one, and you really do lose everything.
Yeah, 4 protect 1 into a Doom as well. And just, it looks like Liquid, they were trying something out this game, right, with this 5 Pangolier. mudgolems just did a very cookie cutter strategy, played it to perfection, and yeah, it felt like Liquid's, the hope disappeared pretty early on in this game, probably around like the 25-minute mark. Started to really take a turn for the worst, and at this point, yeah, it's just impossible for Mickey. Just look at the net worth. Yeah, they have 4 of the top 5.
That's insane. Oh no, Liquid having a rough one here. But as you say, maybe a bit of experimenting. I mean, this experiment, it's not over yet, but so far it doesn't look like the results are going to be too great for Liquid.
No. And they're not even able to get something I was hopeful for them this game, is that Aghanims on the Shadow Demon to actually give Mickey a fighting hope versus that Spectre. They're going to go for a smoke here. Let's see if they can catch off guard, as Haunt is still cooldown 15 seconds.
See what they can get with Mickey. Leading the way. Spectre's the big one.
Spectre too. He's got a cheese though. He's pretty buff.
And Tornado is off the mark. Might not matter. They have to silence after the man today. Not to keep the blame there off. He's able to pop the cheese. He's done so much damage to himself. He's got to be careful. 33's going to jump in for the fight. Thunder is there. They will be able to finish him off. Mickey's low though. He's been helped aside. Pops the BKB Skeeter coming back in with the buyback horn as they're just cleaning up once more. Mickey's BKB's about to come to an end. There's 4 dead on Liquid. And that's the problem when you're playing against the Spectre at this stage. Buyback horn, it's always going to be there. You blow everything trying to kill it, and Skeeter's always just going to be able to press buyback, press R, turn back up, turn the fire around, and this one, it's looking pretty overfog.
Yeah, and even before he pops the Hunt, he almost killed everybody just with Dispersion and Blade. They were all at like 20% or 40% HP. It was an easy cleanup for the all mudgolems, even if Skeeter doesn't buy back. As yeah, this looks like it's clear and cut for them to end. mudgolems just continuing to impress and just continuing to look real good in this tournament here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they keep not being catching some of the performances from mudgolems that, yeah, you've missed out on some very, very impressive showings, and as you said, some of them built around heroes such as the BoraNija Storm.
Long jump. Insania, he finds him, flips him with the damage, and it's godlike to boot.
It's just insane that we're seeing such a Storm performance come out consistently from BoraNija. You know, other people have tried to play the Storm, it's not working. BoraNija, it really does feel like every game he's just crushing. He is just crushing to the point where I don't think you can go into a draft against this team and allow the chance for that Storm to come in as the last pick unless you're really confident that your lineup's got some solid Storm answers.
I definitely agree. It just, he puts on way too much pressure on the map. Yeah. It's 12-minute Orchid just from his like rotation top getting triple kill. And just, it's been a constant threat the whole game for Liquid. That they've been hand-holding because they can't show in lanes.
Look at the dude! I mean, he's dead. Mickey just gets caught outside him and it's over. He's dead for 2 minutes. There's no buyback. This is the cleanup here from mudgolems. And yeah, definite back to the drawing board for Liquid. The draft they tried this game, it just wasn't doing anything. Mickey got farmed. That was about it, really. Nothing else really happened for Liquid. As we're seeing here, one final cleanup from mudgolems. Fox is going down. And actually able to jump out to the side. Fox promised keeps 33 alive. Trying their best to fight, but there's no Boxy, there's no Mickey for over a minute. As there we have it. GG is called. And yeah, just a weird strat, weird approach from Liquid. And I mean, we said it's not mudgolems. There's nothing really too surprising about their lineup.